Oh, yeah. So we say this every single week when Bill comes on. He was the best. He still is the best. He'll always be the best. Bill O'Reilly is the best cable news guy in the history of the business. And he's still great. BillO'Reilly.com, which Bernie and I will be on next Wednesday. Very excited about that. We make appearances every now and then with Bill. And we're going to do that next Wednesday. Once again, you can watch it on television, on Newsmax, actually, on Long Island, right, Bernie, and a bunch of places.
That is exactly. Actually, Verizon.
Verizon, okay. There you go. His new article is out, Cool It on Climate Change. But I was thinking about this, Bern. About a month ago, Bill was very, very sweet and offered to take you and I out for lunch. But there was some scheduling difficulties. It was around the Super Bowl.
That's right. We were in Atlanta.
Right. So now, when I think about it, if Bill O'Reilly is really serious about taking us out for lunch, but the New York Post is correct in their headline today, we better do it soon because we're all leaving, right?
That's right.
We're all leaving New York City.
Including maybe our guest on the line right now, yeah.
He was in Delray Beach a couple weeks ago. Bill, are you part of this mass exodus? Are you sick of paying huge taxes on Long Island? Are you ready to get the hell out of New York?
Well, I'm not right there yet because I'm negotiating with Congresswoman Cortez, and she told me that I can keep one room of furniture. She's going to take all the rest. So I'm going to, see if I can work that out with her. She's got the van already. They're going to come out to Long Island and start loading it up.
I know you talk about her specifically and Beto in your column, but on a serious note, it's become so expensive to live in New York City. This poll that Bernie read this morning states that 41% of New Yorkers say it's just too expensive to live here. Are they exaggerating, or is there some? No, they're not.
My mother passed a couple of years ago at age 92. And if I hadn't paid all the property taxes for her in Levittown, where she lived her whole life, my parents bought the house there in 1951. She couldn't have lived there on Social Security and things like that. I had to pick it up. I was happy to do it. I actually wanted her to move up someplace else, but she wouldn't because she had all her friends and the deli and the church. You know how it goes. And that's the lure for New York. I mean, people don't want to leave because they have their friends, and New Yorkers, keep their friends. Not like California where your best friend is, named Tiffany and you met her last week at the health club. That's California. Here, I have guys working for me that I went to first grade with.
Wow.
At St. Bridget's School. And so you don't want to go. You don't want to go down to North Carolina and chew tobacco. I mean, that's not real appealing.
No, that's true.
But, these communists have to step back. And I put a lot of it on Cuomo. Cuomo has totally lost his mind. I don't know whether you guys have noticed that.
Oh, we have.
Okay, he has totally lost his mind. And I don't know what's going on in Westchester, where he lives, but just take a walk around, Andrew. People are really starting to say, I work hard my whole life, and then I get a little bit of a pension and this and that, and then you're in, for 50-60%. And it's wrong. And explain this to me. Every time you go into that dopey city, what is it, $25 to get through the Midtown Tunnel or something?
That's right, yeah. Which is what I take every day.
Where is that money? You have hundreds of thousands of cars a day going into that city, paying all of this toll and everything else, the parking, tax on everything. Where is that money?
That's what I ask all the time. They want congestion pricing. They want money on marijuana.
They want more. Yeah, congestion pricing.
Right. I mean, they've got tons of money. Where is that money?
I want them to smoke more marijuana.
That's their answer, though.
I have changed, and I'm going to legalize marijuana and just dump it on Andrew Cuomo's front lawn. Here, smoke all of this.
And meanwhile, they're giving away free tuition to illegal immigrants, health care for all, including illegal immigrants, as though the money's growing on trees. I think they don't get it. and people, they can't handle it anymore, and that's why they're fleeing. That's the bottom line. I'm not very optimistic for this tri-state area, specifically New York, Bill O'Reilly. But I will say this: I am very optimistic about your new book, which is coming out in September, and it is called "The United States of Trump: How the President Really Sees America." And there's a big article on it at NewYorkPost.com. I will say that. Check it out. Maybe in the paper. I haven't seen it yet, but at NewYorkPost.com. And also BillO'Reilly.com is killing it. Great interviews. You get Big Bill's insight. You don't need cable TV. BillO'Reilly.com. It's fantastic. And on it, you have this article that Sid alluded to, the climate Cool It on Climate Change is what it's entitled. Tell us about that, Bill.
Okay, so this guy Beto O'Rourke, he's amusing to me. I like these guys. I like them because the old politicians, the old guys, they're kind of boring. So Beto goes out this week and he's telling the kids, "Hey, you're all going to die. You're going to die, okay? And The Rock is not going to be able to save you in a helicopter because the giant wave is going to come, and your house is going to be washed away. Go watch The Wizard of Oz. That's going to be you. Your house is going to be twirling, and you're going to be dumped in some land that's all green, all right? And it's because of the rising temperature and all, and you think that's not going to, these kids are already screwed up. And now they get this apprehension. So I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, even if all of us, Bernie and Sid and O'Reilly, okay, we all lived in tree houses and we all got horses and rode to work on the horses, and they still charge congestion pricing. All right? Your horse is too big. All right. Even if that happened, 1.5 billion Chinese don't give a rip. All right? They're going to do whatever they want. And it's not going to matter. Now, I hate to, paint a bleak picture, but if you have China and India and all the third world basically not conforming to any kind of environmental standard, no matter what you do isn't going to matter. Hey, Beto, they live on the same planet, okay? So this kind of craziness, and it's all a power grab. So the left wants to control the whole country from Washington, D.C., and they seem to think that magically the federal government can make everything better for Americans. When has that ever happened?
Never.
That's a good question. But you know what? With all you're saying about Beto, and he's crazy, and he is amusing and entertaining, he did raise over $6 million day one, more than Bernie Sanders. So we're going to put you on hold for a second, Bill, because you're too good for one segment. You're an only two-segment guy. That's how great you are.
All right.
I want to come back, and we're going to ask you, he may be amusing and may be entertaining, but is he a serious threat to possibly win on that side? More with the great Bill O'Reilly, but after these short messages.
Bernie and Sid in the morning.
All right, back here, Bill O'Reilly, back on the Bernie and Sid in the Morning Show. Again, BillO'Reilly.com. We talk about it all the time because it's great. And his column, Cool It on Climate Change, talking a little bit on Cortez, but specifically Beto O'Rourke. And when we let you off about 5 minutes ago, Bill, I asked the question. Well, I did make the statement that he did raise over $6 million day one, more than Bernie Sanders. And we've talked to a couple of folks this week who say, including Rich Lowry, that they really believe O'Rourke may be a legitimate threat on the left side. What do you think?
Well, after Barack Obama and Donald Trump both won the presidency, you got to say Americans are unpredictable.
True.
But with Trump in position to run for re-election, it seems to me that Democrats who despise the president are not going to take a chance on a newcomer like Beto O'Rourke, that they're going to go with Biden, the establishment name, and try to recapture that Barack Obama magic. All right? Let's take us back. Because people have short memories, and even though President Obama didn't do well in the economy, Americans, I don't think they dislike him. Ideologues do, but not the mass of people. So I see it as Biden and then Kamala Harris or somebody like that on the second. That would be my best bet right now.
And you're right, Bill. Of course, in 2016, it was really a few states, I think 80,000 voters who previously voted for Obama. They voted for Trump. And that's what the Democrats, they need to win these people over. And a guy like Biden appeals to them. But, with the economy doing well, wages rising, manufacturing jobs returning, and all of this stuff, I think they're panicking, and that's why they're talking about changing all the rules, the Electoral College, pack the Supreme Court, they're lowering the voting age to 16, allow felons to vote. I think they see that maybe they might not win it, and they're panicking, which is why they're proposing all these wacky changes.
Yeah, but they have to stop the wacky stuff, and none of that's going to come to fruition, by the way, with the election in 2020. Maybe afterward, you could change the law about the Electoral College. I hope they don't. But that's what the Democrats would like, and then become an urban election or become the big city election. Let's get Chicago, L.A., and New York, and they'll all vote Democrat, and then the people in 30 states in the West and Midwest and South don't matter. So that's what the aim is. But I see I just, if President Trump, and he does want to be reelected, I spoke with him this week. How about that for a name drop?
Nice.
You guys are speaking to Bo Dietl. I'm speaking to the President of the United States, okay?
You a player.
I want everybody to know the contract.
No doubt.
And he does. He wants to. But he's got to stop with the John McCain stuff and all of this other small ball idiocy that wears people down.
Agreed.
Stop.
Yep.
Concentrate on the big issues in China and getting people in a confident state of mind, and stop. You become, I don't know if it's possible, but you become the mature person and let Beto and the other people run around and say, hey, we want Guadalajara to be the 51st state. Let them do that.
You're right. You want people to say they're exclusively crazy, not they're crazy on both sides.
You be, they're both crazy, that kind of stuff. But
that's
I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
Well, let's make this local again, though, like we did at the very beginning of the conversation about people leaving New York, and that is Bill de Blasio, who is now the mayor of New York City. You're in New York working here a couple days a week, Bill. You live on the island, but you work in the city. So you know what's going on here. This guy has spent a ton of time, New Hampshire, Iowa, basically ignoring all of the issues, and there are tons here in New York City. Nobody shows up at this guy's events. How delusional is Bill de Blasio?
Here's how bad it is. I am pining for the return of Abe Bean. Wow. That's how bad it is.
That's bad.
Where are you, Abe, when we need you?
If you would have got Bella Abzug, it would have been really bad.
Yeah, I just watched this guy, and he does live in an alternative universe. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He doesn't live in the same world that everybody lives in. But nobody votes in New York. You have the mayoral race, and nobody knows who he is. They don't do it. That's why Koch, like him or not, was so good. Everybody knew who he was. They were engaged. Giuliani, same thing. Now it's like, who are these people? Who now? Who? What? And this is what you get. So, yes. Is he mad? Yes, he is. He's mad. He's crazy. All right? But that's what we got. And then 3 years from now, it'll probably be Cortez. I wouldn't be surprised if she runs for mayor of New York City. I would not.
No, I wouldn't either. And by the way, if we ever did abolish the Electoral College and just went with the popular vote, it's guys like Cortez and Bill de Blasio and Jumaane Williams or whatever. These are the people who will be elected president of the United States. Keep that in mind. But I want to ask you about this question, Bill O'Reilly. You were talking a lot on BillO'Reilly.com about Ted Koppel's comments, and no less than a guy, this is a liberal media line, Ted Koppel, and he acknowledged that the press, yes, is out to get the current president of the United States. That's quite an acknowledgement by a guy like that.
He scorched the New York Times and the Washington Post, scorched them. And, I like Ted Koppel, even though he came on The Factor and said that I had single-handedly ruined the journalism industry in America. I said, thank you. For coming from you, Ted, that's a compliment.
My man.
But he just scorched them. And he told the truth. I'm researching, as you guys mentioned, the United States of Trump. It is so hard to write this book, and I want everybody to really sympathize with me. 90% of the research, and I have the best researchers in the world, as you know from the Killing Book series, 90% is not true. What has been written about Trump in the past and his family and everything else, it's all bull. So therefore, I have to go out and actually report and research myself and talk to people who were there to get the story and to correct it in the book, because there are no anonymous sources and there's no BS in this book. All right, this is what happened.